Now, the first thing I personally think when I hear the words endangered species is a parrot. Um, I know it's a little odd to think of a parrot when it comes to endangered species, but parrots and a variety of different kinds are on the endangered species list, sadly. Um, and this endangered species list is not just parrots, but it's also other animals as well as plants, and other organisms in our world. Um, Endangered species are important to their personal ecological systems as well as different parts around the world. Um, this can be different kinds of because of different kinds of birds that no longer travel to different ecosystems or herds of like cow or other herding animals that don't travel around those areas anymore and don't provide that kind of diversity. And sadly, if that happens, that these endangered species become extinct, then that could definitely hurt their main ecosystem as well as many others. There are many different ways that endangered species are important. Uh, what can happen if an endangered species becomes extinct, like I said, can um, there are many ways that what can happen, uh, the solutions and how can be intervened so that we don't have to worry about those um, biodiverse ecological homes don't get destroyed and the animals or plants or other kinds of species don't have to worry about their kind dwindling away. Now, the best way I think to tackle something is to start at the problem. Now, the source I used called Adaptive Distribution and Priority Protection of Endangered Species, specifically to a certain plant that I personally cannot pronounce. Um, it basically says that global warming has caused dramatic changes in our world, and we as humans definitely have become part of that because our carbon emissions, as well as whether that be uh, what we eat or what we drive, um, and that can pose greater challenges to not only the climate trying to regulate itself, but also the animals trying to regulate their population in a way because it's so hot or it's not inhabitable for them to live there. Another quote by them is human activities have also been a non negotiable impact on the natural environment since the Quaternary, the increasing range of intensity of human activities has directly affected the spatial distribution and diversity of species, and even led to species losing their original habitats, purely because not only global warming, but also our, as humans, our impact on that, because these animals are not able to live in their not in their homes and have to move somewhere cooler or warmer or somewhere entirely because they lost their homes because of us. Um, Now let's get to the root of the problem, causes of said problem. Greenhouse gas emissions will seriously, pardon me, with the same um, site I used throughout this entire presentation. Greenhouse gases will seriously affect the growth and psychological characteristics of plants, leading to significant changes in their geographical dis- distrib- distribution patterns of most plants. That's a direct quote from this website that has been peer reviewed as well. So these plants have been struggling to disperse naturally in areas that they would normally be landing because of greenhouse gas emissions and affecting them directly. Another quote is, in addition to climate factors, anthropogenic factors have become one of the major causes of changes in vegetation communities. It has been found that anthropogenic activities led to overutilization of biological resources, which in turn leads to change in species patterns as well as shrinkage and fragmentations of suitable habitats for species. So, in a way, we are um, kind of forcing these plants to evolve, to adapt to this um, new world that they were pushed to live in because of human carbon emissions. Now, the cause thankfully can be helped by more than one thing. Not all of them can be changed by the snap of a finger. Everything takes time, but all of them we can fix. We can fix the damages that humans have done. Now onto the solutions. With the same site as before, um, it says it states, pardon me, establishing protected areas is one of the best ways to protect biodiversity, maintain ecosystem balance, and is the most direct and effective way um, to protect key national, national, sorry, nationally protected wild plant species and their habitats. So, the red, like Yosemite, is a natural park, and well, I went there once. Gorgeous, gorgeous, seeing all of those plants, all of the biodiversity. My family, I went with my sister and my dad and my grandfather, and we actually saw a bear. Thankfully, we weren't close enough for it to attack or anything like that. But just being able to see wild animals from afar, from a safe distance, in their natural habitats is jaw drop beautiful. And in California, there are lots of national parks that protect these animals along with plants, um, grow and be able to grow wildly, not in a zoo or domesticated and evolve in that way, kind of like our dogs. But honestly, I have two dogs. I love them so much. Um, Another quote um, states that numerous studies have shown that the prioritized protected zones selected by the marksman software have higher centralization and lower human interference levels. Now, this software in this article helped these people in a lot of ways, and like the quote has said, selected not had spots that were great for animals to thrive, species to thrive in general, that are less likely to have human interference, which is great because it allows them to have um, optimal growth without us being in the way. Thankfully, the way to help is not impossible. I just told one simple way. Well, not simple. I just showed one way that these animals and other animals, plants, and other species can be helped. It's definitely is going to be difficult, but it is very possible with others to help or joining an organization can make it much easier to focus as a group and to help in the overall goal, um, to not only fight for these things, but to help fix these problems. Now, thankfully, there are different organizations that try to save endangered species. Um, these you may see on social media, you may watch their shows, might have seen them in the newspaper kind of thing. But there are also several that might not be a big presence on social media. Um, there are also several around the world that work with plants, focusing on bringing them back off the endangered species list and back in their homes where they belong, just like helping the animals as well. Endangered species are important to their personal ecological system as well as different parts around the world. This can be from different kinds of birds to different seedlings, even the little bugs in the dirt. Um, but the first thing I personally think of when I hear the word endangered species is parrots, pardon me, and I think we should rethink that.